Hello and happy spooky Saturday. We are in week 8. This is Play Calling with Keenan, brought to you by Incede.ai. I am with my very lucky guest, Mr.
Aaron Van Cleve.
Cleve.
We're back. We're better than ever. Spooky season. The lucky leprechaun.
I just got one thing. Where's the pot of gold at? I haven't found it yet.
We're here and we're ready.
But we're here. We're here for a good week in football, so let's get into it. A lot of good things happened. What struck you as the highlights here?
We had some guys. High scoring. We had Devontae Adams going absolutely berserk.
Absolutely been cooking.
And maybe the most magical performance we'd ever seen by a Seahawk wide receiver, Tyler Lockett. Where the heck?
My God.
Holy cow. He took like all of the receptions from like 10 different teams and put them all on him and scored, 53, 4 fantasy points? 50s. Unreal.
Unreal performance. I think it was the 4th highest performance ever in full point PPR. The man's an absolute monster. Metcalf owners like myself saw a little bit of a bummer about relying there. But Tyler Lockett looks really good. He looks really good. I'm a big fan. You know who I'm not a fan of is the New England Patriots in general. They're not looking good. They're not looking good. I mean, Brady turns out he was a big part of that offense.
Turns out the Bears also suck.
The Bears are also pretty bad.
Bad.
Bears
Montgomery, they all suck.
Yeah, the Bears and Patriots, pretty fraudulent teams thus far. We know what that Bear doing was now. He was getting beat.
What's that Bear doing? Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson,
shouts out, did not have a great Thursday night.
No, he did not have a great Thursday night. Yeah, but Patriots didn't look great. The Hawks took their first loss, albeit in a mighty performance from Lockett.
Steelers still undefeated in our dogs this week.
The Steelers, last undefeated team, dogs at home this week. +4. Do we like the Steelers?
I think. But that's a tough game to bet on. But, Steelers defense is good. Their offense is – why would they be underdogs? That's the question.
Someone must know something I don't know.
I guess.
I mean, Ravens are coming off a bye. They're looking good. But most importantly, we've looked back at week 7, looking at it week 8, we're in spooky season. Weird things are going to happen this week.
Yeah.
Strange things are going to happen. Teams are going to do good that aren't supposed to do good, and inversely. And I can see it now.
Completely against AI.
The AI is AI. You better throw that out the window this weekend. We're really leaning towards a week of witchcraft. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens for Halloween. All right, taking over the doctor's orders this week. Not a whole lot of injuries outside of OBJ, RIP to his ACL, but getting into the injuries. Any injuries pop out to you?
Seahawks have no running backs. Possibly, they might pick up stinking Boobie Miles from Friday Night Lights.
Not a bad move.
I don't know.
Not a bad move.
I don't know.
Do we call Marshawn?
We might have to.
Beast mode?
Dallas might be a deep – if you're in a deep league, the guy from Miami last year, rookie, might be a good pickup.
DJ Dallas has missed a pretty crucial block on Sunday, but he's looking good. I mean, Chris Carson, questionable. Carlos Hyde, doubtful. Travis Homer, questionable. All 3 are rumored not to be able to play.
Not good.
Not good, but fortunately, though, we're letting Russ cook this year, so the Seahawks should be in a pretty good spot.
They want to be balanced, though, so that actually might be it's not good.
It's not good enough for depth, but speaking of running backs, Aaron Jones once again out for the Packers. Jamal Williams will be the play once again. Had a pretty nice week last week. He will once again be almost a plug-and-play RB1, RB2. It's just a good matchup for the Packers.
Patriots have a lot of guys out this week. They got Edelman, N'Keal Harry. They got some guys that are doubtful that are game time decisions. So it's not.
I don't even know who Cam's gonna throw the ball to.
He might throw the ball to himself and run a lot. So let's see if he can get that offense going. Finally, we'll see. We'll see though. Who knows?
Patriots Bills. First time Patriots have been underdogs in an AFC East game in 20 games, I believe. 20 straight regular season games. They've been favorites. So we'll see what happens. Speaking of the AFC. Speaking of the AFC East, Jamison Crowder once again questionable. He continues to just absolutely kill every time he plays in the game, but questionable this week. Not sure what's going to happen there. Sammy Watkins out for the Chiefs. Chiefs are pretty much healthy, completely healthy aside from that. It's lining up to be the 14-2, 15-1 year for the Chiefs this year, unfortunately.
It might be. They are not hurt at all.
They're locked and loaded.
Knock on wood for them, but yeah, they look good.
Your guy Michael Thomas, he playing this week?
Michael Thomas is out. Dang it. I traded for him. Traded Mike Davis at the right time, apparently. But I traded my dog, Adam Thielen. With that being said, Michael Thomas is out this week again. He'll be back next week. Hopefully. We'll see. But that pays good for Alvin Kamara.
It does pay good for targets.
Make sure he's playing.
He's a guy, no doubt. And Allen Robinson is a guy that is doubtful this week. The Bears look atrocious this last week. The Rams absolutely just smacked them. And it would not help the Bears whatsoever versus Saints if Allen Robinson's out.
No.
The Niners team struggling with injuries. Jimmy G's going. A lot of defensive injuries. They do have Jason Verrett playing, but the defensive line, obviously, Solomon Thomas is out. They still have Bosa's out. I don't think they can stop the Seahawks. I think those injuries are.
Debo Samuel's out too this week.
Debo, not so Samuel this week.
So they got Ayuk that's coming in. It's like their slot guy. And then they have this new guy. I'll bring it to you later on, guys. Pick up off the waiver wire, but they're Hasty is their running back.
Hasty. Jeff Wilson, big game.
Looks pretty good. Jeff Wilson is out.
Big game in the ground. He's out.
He's out this week.
Hasty's the move then.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone who also most likely be out, Andy Dalton, the red rifle, doubtful concussion, dirty hit. It won't matter. The Cowboys aren't very good, but maybe if you are absolutely desperate at quarterbacks in deep 2 quarterback leagues, Ben DiNucci, maybe you play. Is he playing 2 quarterback leagues? You're feeling pretty lucky. What week does he play?
Who knows, man? Let's hope he's studying his tape.
DiNucci.
I can't give in. There's no AI on him. I don't know. His team has some weapons, but with all those injuries, it's a little sketchy. But he's got wide receivers, and he's got Zeke Elliott. So my man Keenan, who seemed to think Andy Dalton was good at ball, maybe it's DiNucci that can.
Andy Dalton. Turns out it wasn't a plug and play option at quarterback. I may have preached that in the show. Didn't work out. His offensive line's not good. He's still got weapons. Ben DiNucci may be the answer. He most likely is not, but we'll see. All right, the real start, sit, cut question of the week.
Sweetie season.
Boomer bust candies. We have Reese's, Kit Kats, Snickers. What do we got?
Man, this is a tough one.
On the spot.
Ooh, I got Snickers #1. It's got everything.
Starting Snickers. That was a big bust projection for me. AI doesn't like Snickers.
Think about the Snickers. We got the chocolate, we got the caramel, we got the peanuts. What am I missing? Am I missing something?
You're missing the peanut butter, which is in the Reese's.
No, wait,
That's what makes the Reese's. I personally am starting Reese's here.
I love Reese's. I'm probably going Reese's last though because the Kit Kat, man, they have the commercial. You gotta have Kit. No, you gotta go Reese's because Reese's has a variety of different things you like. They even have cereal. Love Reese's.
Reese's
We're going
Puffs,
Reese's
for sure.
#2, and then we're going Kit Kat. I like Kit Kat though. I will tell you, gotta have Kit Kat.
Okay, I like that.
Right.
All right, I got one more question for you. So when you were a kid trick-or-treating, we like to use analytics here. How do we figure out which house is going to give out the king size bars? Like, how do I tell which is a boom house and a bust house?
A boom and a bust house. You look at the freaking house that, and man, we're not stereotyping or anything right here, but what I'm saying is the big house with the guy that has all the decorations and the skeleton that's waving at you and telling you Happy Halloween and stuff. Go to that guy.
Personally, I got to say I agree, but I think this is a really big stat here. You want to find a house, first of all, with no kids. If you have a house with kids, they're out trick-or-treating, therefore eliminating your possibility to get candy.
Sure.
What you got to do is find an older couple, older neighborhoods, high disposable income. That's your boom house. And that's my pro tip. Halloween advice.
There's estates on golf courses. Hit those. Guaranteed.
That's another good one. Boom houses on golf courses.
Locked.
That's our spooky picks this week. What we got? It is just me, myself, and I. My guest had to go get an early start in trick-or-treating. Let's take a look at quarterbacks. I love Baker Mayfield this week. Baker Mayfield coming off, started off the game 0 for 5 with an interception. The interception saw Odell Beckham go out for a year with torn ACL. But Baker really rallied through adversity, completed 21 straight passes, threw 5 touchdowns. and had a great performance. He had almost 30 points in standard leagues. This week, he plays the Raiders. Raiders have the 28th ranked pass defense. They haven't stopped many people this year. They do get a pretty good pass rush, but their secondary is still highly questionable. Looking at the actual stats, Baker's boomed once, busted once. He has over a double chance to boom as opposed to bust, averaging 17.5. I like him this week as a matchup. I like him going forward as a year. I think with Odell going down, that does hurt their big playability. But as far as unpredictability of their offense, I think that he will almost benefit with a more open playbook. And looking quarterback who I don't like this week, I'm not a fan of Jared Goff. Playing surprisingly stingy Dolphins defense this year. Dolphins defense has only gave up 7 passing touchdowns, and they have held every quarterback to fewer than 17 fantasy points. Jared Goff has been a middling quarterback, but relied a lot on the run, a lot of the play action pass. He has boomed 3 times, but he's had 3 booms and 4 relatively quiet weeks. Hasn't busted yet, but hasn't had many huge games. Relies a lot on the play action. Boom is only 13%, bust only 11%. Watson thinks he's going more towards a middling week, which all signs would point towards a much tougher defense. And the Dolphins long have only given up 7 touchdowns passing. They've only given up 236 yards passing as well. Taking a look at running backs of the week, the first name is someone I never thought I'd have to put in this list. He's went first round in every draft. Ezekiel Elliott. A lot of people are wavering confidence. A lot of people are like, I'm not sure the Cowboys aren't that good. I still love Zeke this week. He's playing the 24th ranked Eagles rush defense. He's coming off a admittedly bad performance, but he's still Ezekiel Elliott. The good news is Ben DiNucci has a full week of practice. He's going to check the ball down a lot. Zeke, with all his flaws, catches the ball fairly well in the backfield. I expect a high volume game for Ezekiel Elliott. They're going to try to force feed him the ball. The Eagles struggle stopping the run, and DiNucci's going to be checking down a lot. I like Zeke this week for a big game. Now, IBM is looking at him a pretty not a big chance to bust or boom. They like his middling projections, probably about the 12 to 18 point range. I just disagree. I think that he's going to have a big week this week in a very opportune matchup. And you just can't get much worse than him. I think he's being undervalued. A lot of people are sitting him. I think that's a mistake. He will still be RB1, RB2 category. Running back I don't like has been someone I've loved so far this year, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. First of all, it's no testament to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's a testament to the Jets. The Chiefs are 20-point favorites over the Jets. They should absolutely clobber them. It's going to be one of those situations where they may be up early, and I think you run the ball, and they may still run the ball, but they're going to try to mix in Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell and Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a 55-45 snap split last week with Clyde Edwards-Helaire barely out touching him. I think that the just talent differential is too big here. Watson agrees with me. Huge chance to bust, not a huge chance to boom. I don't think he'll be needed as much. They're going to rest him. They like to keep running backs fresh this year. I'm leaning on avoiding playing Clyde Edwards-Helaire if you have running back depth for this week. Looking at receivers of the week, I love Tyler Boyd this week. Tyler Boyd coming off a big week last week, over 27.74 and 4-point PPR. He's really established himself as a top option for Burrow, running routes out of the slot. He's also in a favorable matchup versus the Titans, who have allowed 7.5 catches out of the slot per week and are also giving up the 3rd most fantasy points to slot receivers. They also sport the 26th ranked pass defense. This is looking like a great matchup for Tyler Boyd and Joe Burrow. And looking back at what he's done so far this year, he's boomed 3 times, busted only once. Looking at the game log, he's had a couple big weeks. He's been a factor. As far as what Watson thinks, Watson likes 20% bust, 20% boom, 19% bust. I think matchups included, this is going to be a great week. I think all Bengals receivers are a pretty good play, or at least Higgins and Boyd. AJ Green's been pretty inconsistent. I like Tyler Boyd going deep over the middle, really exploiting that Titans defense out of the slot. And looking at a Cowboys receiver who's done good this year, he's my sit of the week, Amari Cooper. Not a fan of the matchup. Pretty unfavorable matchup versus Darius Slay. The Eagles, for their weaknesses as a team, will sport the 7th ranked pass defense. Ben DiNucci's inability to get the ball downfield, maybe the downfall of Amari Cooper's production. Watson likes him 8% boom, 8% bust. He's busted once, boomed twice, but that was with Dak at quarterback. So much uncertainty in the Cowboys, which is the reason why I'm leaning on Zeke to have a big game, catching the ball in the backfield. A lot of checkdowns from DiNucci. I don't like Amari Cooper and his ability to get the ball downfield this game versus Slay. He's my sit of the week. I don't like him. Taking a look at flex of the week, it is a member of the Rams backfield. I like Darrell Henderson this week. As of recently, he's established himself as the lead dog of the Rams backfield. Malcolm Brown has gotten more goal line touches compared to Henderson. Wild card of the week. 2 running backs. It's 2 for 1 this week. Both come from the same game. I like DJ Dallas because of opportunity knocking and also JaMychal Hasty opportunity knocking. Both running backs have seen an absurd amount of injuries above them on the depth chart. We'll first start with DJ Dallas and my Seahawks. The Seahawks are most likely going to be down Chris Carson, Carlos Hyde, and possibly Travis Homer this week, which paves the way for DJ Dallas, the 4th-string running back rookie out of Miami, to get some opportunity this week. So far, DJ Dallas, no rushes last week, 2 catches, 18 yards, has pretty much done nothing this year, mainly because he's been down the depth chart. This week, Watson is factoring in the possibility that the other 3 guys above him, some combination of them play. But if he's the only guy playing of that backfield group, he's almost a must-start at flex. I think he's going to be the flex of the week if he plays. 18% boom, 18% bust. Low projections. Once again, these projections are totally based off the fact that one of those 3 running backs plays. But keep your eyes open on a Sunday morning. If those 3 running backs are in fact inactive, DJ Dallas is your flex of the week. Same game, different running back. We got JaMychal Hasty. Opportunities knocked for him. He actually produced a little more last week. Jeff Wilson, who had a monster game, over 100 yards, couple touchdowns rushing. He's most likely going to be out. Jerick McKinnon's battling injuries and uncertainty. Mostert's on IR. This is leaning towards a big JaMychal Hasty game. He was on the practice squad this year, had a lot of opportunities and offers for other teams, turned it down to make the team. Now it looks like he's finally getting this opportunity. 9 carries, 57 yards, pretty high average there. Also had a catch for 16 yards. I think it could be a high volume play versus Seahawks defense has been questionable against the run and the pass. JaMychal Hasty is, once again, you want to look at injury reports between DJ Dallas and JaMychal Hasty. One of these guys is your play of the week. That is a wrap. Week 8 play calling with Keenan, brought to you by Incede.ai. Go have yourself a great Halloween. Go Hawks.